This is Campus Lore Live, where NBA players are the experts on college basketball. I'm George Niang of the Utah Jazz, accompanied by my former college teammate and current Denver Nugget point guard, Monte Morris. Today, we're going to be talking about something that has been on everybody's mind, not just in the basketball community, but throughout the whole world, and that is the coronavirus. Monte, I know it's something that's been going around the league, and I know it's affected you and your team drastically. Do you want to touch on that a little bit and what changes you've had to make in your lifestyle, your NBA lifestyle, and just your overall living?
Yeah, I mean, it's been so crazy. We had to go to a lot of grocery stores. I mean, everything was really bought out. So it was kind of first come, first serve. It just lets you know how much time we really have on our hands without basketball. With our team, they're not telling us to come in. Everything is optional. They give us like a 2-hour window span to come in and get treatment, but it's only one coach with one player, and the players can't even be in the same gym at the same time. So everybody got their own times and everything. You're just not seeing it. You're just not interacting every day with your team. Everything is kind of isolated with one-on-one and things like that. So it's definitely been different. You finding a lot about yourself. I'm playing a lot of video games, staying in the house and trying to stay away from a lot of the public. But other than that, it's just been different for sure.
That and trying to get things done at the grocery store, and it's like there's still food, but everybody just wants to take the toilet paper. So I'm a little bit confused there. But obviously, my experience has been a little different than yours. Obviously, my team was the first team in the NBA to have someone test positive for the coronavirus, and I don't know, where we go from here, but obviously, I think our commissioner Adam Silver is doing a great job of taking steps of obviously putting us on a hiatus and being very communicative with us and what the plan should be going forward. That being said, you know how much March Madness meant to me and you and our experiences together, and the conference tournament we won, two straight, cutting down that net, holding up that trophy, and I couldn't imagine being a senior and having that opportunity ripped from me to be able to play in that. I guess my next thought would be, tell me your thoughts on March Madness being canceled and how that affected you now and how you think it would have affected you if you were in college.
Yeah, I mean, I think March Madness is the best time of the year. You done play teams already twice, and then you get a chance to go into March in the conference tournament and get a chance to win that. And if you're a team that's not, or on a bubble, you can win that and get a chance and punch your ticket. So I think it was just so good for the college basketball, and the fans love it, man. Everybody love March Madness. Filling out brackets, like, it never gets old. Everybody lives up for it, and everybody live for the Cinderella teams, the upsets. That makes March Madness. So it's gonna be hard not watching it, and if I was a senior, it's hard. Some guys didn't have that good senior season, they might wanted to have. And, now they don't even get a chance to display their talent at a conference tournament or, a NCAA tournament to change their hopes for playing for professional, the following year. So it's kind of slippery slope, man. But I guess we just got to take the right precaution with the virus situation because it's real serious. But it sucks if you're a senior or a team that had an outstanding year and can't finish the job.
Yeah, no, I just think it's crazy the steps how it happened. March Madness went from only family and immediate friends were going to be allowed to go. Then it was going to be played with no fans, and it went from being canceled. Lucky enough in our position, we get paid to do, what we do, and we're well taken care of. I just feel terrible for these college kids. This is like the song at the end of the Final Four, one shining moment. Guys work their whole life for these opportunities. And as you know, like you said, March Madness kind of brings like the whole country together. People that, don't really watch basketball during the year come together for this 1 month to watch the craziness, the buzzer beaters, the 5 that's going to lose to the 12 seed. Is a 16 seed going to be able to beat a 1 seed again, because it's only happened once in the history of the NCAA tournament. And it's heart-wrenching for me because I put myself in their shoes, and knowing that I have to just turn my senior year off and close the chapter of my college career to a virus, which is extremely serious, and we need to take these precautions. But it's almost kind of like watching a movie that's a cliffhanger. Oh, so it ended today. Um, it's almost it's crazy. I mean, like imagine like you win your last year, your senior year, you win your conference tournament. Oh yeah, Monte, thanks for a great 4 years, and good luck in your future. We're calling it one. Well, I mean, it happens. I guess you have to live on. But I guess my next thing would be is if we're reminiscing on March Madness moments, um, take me down memory lane. What was some of your best experiences, whether if it was in the conference tournament or in the NCAA tournament? Just some of your fond memories that you can think of when the beautiful month of March rolls around.
Um, the Big 12 tournament, I feel like it was like something that we always knew we would win. It's like that was my favorite time of the season, honestly. Our fans traveled, Hill and South, everybody traveled. It's just packed in there. Iowa State fans. The lobby was crazy. Like, guys need to feel that, man. That's just a different feel. I think the conference tournament for me, I look forward to, of course, March Madness and the NCAA tournament, but it just didn't feel that the March Madness games feel totally different than the conference games, and I think when we line up and we play Kansas, we get a chance to beat Baylor, my freshman year, your sophomore year in the championship. Like those games is phenomenal. I think that was one of my biggest highlights, especially my sophomore year when I hit the shot against Texas to win it. Like every time I watched that, that was 5 years ago, 4 years ago, and I still get chills from it. So I think that was like my biggest moment, especially us cutting down the nets and holding that trophy up in front of our fans. I think it's just remarkable. What about
Funny
you?
that you talk about that shot against Texas. We were down the whole game and
Yeah.
we were making a comeback, and uh, I don't know if I've ever really told this story on air, and I'm kind of embarrassed too. We had the ball, I think, and it was a tie game, but for some reason I had thought we were down one, and they had the ball. And if you watch the film over, they go and try to score and get the offensive rebound, and I sprint out at Javon Felix, thinking that I have to foul him, and he just shoots the ball. And we end up getting the rebound. And you remember the play that coach drew up? You were supposed to be in like the middle of the floor,
Yeah.
but you started coming toward the ball, and I'm like trying to wave you down, like,
Yeah, that's
"What are you doing? What are you doing?" And I forget what the play was supposed to be, but I
crazy.
ran to the corner, and then I'm like, "All right, I'm just gonna pretend to slip out of this ball screen," and then you went up and shot it and made it, and I thought we'd won by one, and then we're all celebrating. I remember someone hit Bryce DeJean-Jones in the nose, and he broke his nose while we were celebrating, and it wasn't until
Yeah.
we got to the locker room where I remember looking at the stat sheet, and it was like 69-67. I was like, "Bro, the game was tied when you hit that shot." You were like, "Yeah, you didn't know?" And I'm like, "No, bro, I thought we were down one." So I'm so thankful that Javon
Yeah.
Felix took that shot and I didn't foul, because that would have been one of my not so
Yeah.
great moments.
Touching on that, my outstanding performance from you. I was just watching. We was at the facility. They turned the game on. We play Oklahoma your senior year at the Big
Uh,
12. My shoulder was hurt, and when you checked out the game, I had like 5 points. I just couldn't help you. Like my shoulder was messed up, and I just seen how much you wanted it, and it just hurt me to this day. Like I couldn't ride with you, for your last time at the Sprint Center because you did everything you could. You had 31. What you had
so
or
yeah,
30? You had
31. I think it was a career high.
Yeah, but that performance and then how you took that, and went to March Madness, you go kill Iona and you go kill Virginia, like in Little Rock, like you took that and you showed like how a senior's supposed to go out, and I wish if I get anything back, honestly, I wish that game, that Oklahoma game, I wasn't hurt and I can give you more because we definitely should have won that game. I just feel like I could have helped more, but I was hurt. But
Man,
you had a great performance that stick out to me
that
forever. So
those are some fun times. And then you think about coming back and after we won in Kansas City, driving back, you think you go from being a celebrity
Mm-hmm.
down in Power and Light District, and you hopping in your what'd you call the car, the Bugatti, oh, with a
We
half
got
windshield wiper, 2002 Impala,
it.
no gas in it. But hey, we're on national
Yeah.
television, and everybody wants our autograph. It's funny how you kind of make the transition from college where you're doing everything for the love of the game, and I'm not saying you don't do that now in the NBA, but obviously we're compensated. We have a paycheck. We have other things that provide us income, and rather than being in college and playing for the pride of your university, you're in the NBA, you're playing for the pride of your team, but also to take care of your family and to take care of yourself. When it comes to transitioning from college to the NBA, we were a year apart. But what were some of your struggles um, and things that you kind of adjusted to seamlessly going from the college game to the NBA, whether that's off the court or on the court?
Not being a guy every possession. My senior year, I was called on more to score and do all those other things. Had the ball a lot in my hands. Then I got drafted to a team, and at 51 with 3 point guards already who wasn't in a rush to insert a new guy to try to help the organization right away. They was on the verge of already few games away from the playoffs. They were kind of breaking the seal and kind of waking people up. So I was kind of just coming in and just trying to help. Training camp, I didn't get a lot of reps and things like that, being behind 3 point guards. But once I got my stint down in G League, I tried to get my swagger back and try not to look at it as punishment. Try to go down there and embrace it and remember I'm still that guy. I just gotta wait my turn, and I think that was my biggest adjustment on the court and off the court. Just remembering, why you started the game, and that it's only year one, and you got so much more to learn and so much more to gain and get better at.
Two things I want to talk about, especially just coming from the simple fact of you touched on it a little bit is you were called on to score your senior year. You were the man in college. Obviously you had the ball in your hands most of the time. Just how difficult was it? Because we both know with the NBA, you kind of got to get in where you fit in. Like, hey, if someone's playing point guard, then I got to start making shots. If someone's not playing defense, now I got to start playing defense. And rather than when you were the man, you could kind of get away with slacking here or not completing this the right way here. But when you're fighting for minutes in a roster spot, you really have to just put your ego aside, drop everything at the door, and really just go in there extremely vulnerable, being like, "Hey, this is who I am, but I'm willing to give you what you need to win games." And then once you touch on that, just tell me what the feeling is like for you coming in, being a G League guy, not having much NBA experience, but then leading an organization, realistically, two, two possessions away from being in the Western Conference Finals the year that you finally get minutes in the NBA. Talk about the poise and the promise and the how being humble helped you achieve those things.
Yeah, I think touching on the question you just asked me, I'll get back to the first one. I think me preparing the year that I wasn't playing was big for me. I was watching a lot of film. I feel like a lot of guys take it for granted, man. I feel like when they're not playing, they're just in a suit. They don't know guys' personnel. They're not into the playbooks like that. Oh, I ain't playing. Oh, y'all lost. You hear that a lot from rookies that's really young. I think me knowing playing 4 years in college, homework and film is it's a lot, and it helps go a long way. I think my poise. I knew guys, scout reports. I was able to help guys when I wasn't playing. Guys like G. I'm like, for example, he could be guarding Brad Beal. He want to get to that step back, G. Just knowing guys' tendency. I'm not even out there. I'm in a suit. I can't even help. But I think it was an easy transition for me the following year because I had already had habits to watch film and grow like that. And the on-court stuff, I was just working very, very hard, trying to make shots because I knew the way our offense was. It was a spacious offense where, everybody get in, chip in something. It's not just one guy every single night. Guys very deep. So I had to be ready to step up and make a shot once my opportunity presented itself.
I think it's funny because in college you go from, dang, if I didn't have 20, I wasn't doing well. So when you get to the NBA, you're like, oh, I got my hand on a deflection and then I pass it and then he passed it and we scored. Like you kind of find the small victories in the overall game. And I just think that's so funny that from the transition from college where we're upset if we're not completely dominating the game to where and you get in the NBA game, if you do like something so minuscule and so small, you're thinking, oh, they're gonna notice that. I did my thing right there, and that's just a great feeling, going forward. And like you said, I feel like we've both gotten to experience that. You obviously have gotten a lot further, in the playoffs and almost had a sniff of the Western Conference Finals. So, obviously it's a kind of a tragedy, or not a tragedy, kind of a sad ending if our season doesn't come up for us to, kind of relive those playoff moments that we had. Now I'm going to ask you a tough question, Monte. I don't know if you're ready for this. I don't know if your insights have led you in the right direction, but who would your coach of the year be this year? I know we didn't get to see the conference tournament or March Madness, but at the end of the day, I know you like playing for a coach that knows what he's doing and can get the best out of his guys. Who are you rolling with as your coach of the year?
I gotta go. I gotta go down to Gonzaga, man. I like Mark Few. I think he keeps a good team every single year. And they sleep on him because I feel like Gonzaga is not on TV that much, and if they is, they're on very late. So a lot of people don't really be on the Gonzaga wave, but they always come around. They 29 and two right now, and I feel like they was one of my Final Four teams if the tournament was to come around.
Yeah, the knock that Gonzaga always seems to take is what conference do they play in? They don't really play that many games, but if you're winning, 29 games season in and season out, that's pretty special, and I think that's undervalued at this point. And Mark Few's doing a great thing up in Spokane with Gonzaga. Like I said, you're more of a wild card. I'm more of a traditional guy. Um, my coach of the year candidate or winner definitely would have to be Bill Self. I mean, with all the hooting and hollering, and they're not as good as they were this. What does he do? He turns around and wins the Big 12 once again. One conference loss, and it comes early to a Baylor team that was hot. But at the end of the day, he just gets the best out of his guys. And I think that's so undervalued. If you can start off slow and then continue to gain progress, because you really, what is the NCAA? You really want to gain momentum once you get towards March and give yourself a chance to win a championship. That's who I'm picking. I would have loved to see Kansas and Gonzaga go at it because I'm a competitive dude, and I would have won and beat you, but needless to say. Going forward, though, I know me and you have talked about this. Who would your sleeper pick for someone being successful in the NBA coming out of college this year? I know who mine is. I think they might play the same position. Obviously, I was spoiled with having a point guard like you at Iowa State. People were like, "Oh, you scored a lot of points." I was like, "Yeah, I had a lot of people that passed me the ball. I just shot it." But who do you think is gonna make a transition to the NBA and really make an impact right away?
Uh, I like Miles Powell from Seton Hall. I got a chance to see him at the Chris Paul camp this past summer. He's a guy where they say, oh, he's kind of a tweener, but I just seen his hunger, his willingness. He was diving on the floor at a point guard camp. Like, guys not doing that. And he can score the ball. At this level, if you can find your niche and score the
Right.
ball and be a scorer, um, I think the sky's the limit. And he just want to win. He wanted to win every drill, and we had pros in there too. We playing 1-on-1. He mad when we score on him and stuff like that, and not laughing. Other kids like, oh, that's tough. He had some dog in him. So that was kind of my sleeper, who I think who's gonna make an impact, right away once his name's called.
Yeah, you know how it is at this level. Buckets get you paid. That's for sure. He kind of has like a little Jamal Crawford in him. You don't know how he does it or how he gets it done, but at the end of the day, that orange thing just keeps on going in that orange thing. So I definitely respect that. That's someone I didn't know you were gonna pick him. I honestly thought you were gonna be more or less on the Cassius Winston train, but I can
Yeah.
respect that. I can respect that. You got a little wild card to you, but I'm gonna reel it in, and I'm gonna go all the way up to Eugene, Oregon, and I'm gonna go with Peyton Pritchard.
Yeah.
I just think his overall development over the last 4 years, the kid's just a winner. Only guy in Oregon State or the state of Oregon's history in high school basketball to win 4 championships in a row. Has been to a Final Four with the Oregon Ducks, and who knows what would have happened, like we talked about earlier in this segment. His senior year, what could have happened? Obviously, they would have been a team that I would have liked to see make the Final Four again, and I just think he's a steady point guard that can get his team involved, and the underlining thing of it all is he makes shots and makes timely plays. And I think an NBA coach is really going to value that. So what's some advice you would give draftees going forward, especially with this draft? I mean, because we don't know when the season's going to start. We don't know what's going to happen, how our guys going to be able to work out. And, when you come into these NBA draft workouts, you're going to need to be in tip-top shape. No excuses, no virus excuses. They want to see you perform. So I know you've had a lot of experience of getting into workouts with a lot of pressure on you. What's some advice that you can give to these young kids going forward and what they need to do to be successful?
I just try to tell. Well, I'm gonna try to tell guys, if they get a chance to watch this, just to go in there and be yourself. Don't try to go in there and show what you do, playing one-on-one with your buddies or with your teammates and king of the hill. Go in there. If you're a defender, defend, rebound, make open shot. Don't try to show them what you gonna progress to be. Show them why they are looking at you right now and what made them put you on their radar. I think guys get it confused, like, oh, this coach is holding me back. We run flex offense, so I couldn't show you I got a step back jumper and all this. Like, it'll all show, in the right time, in the right situation. Just don't go in there trying to do stuff you can't do. I feel like that hurt guys.
Yeah, no, it's almost funny that you say that because we would go into workouts and I remember we'd like call each other and be like, yo, I can't believe this dude was doing this. Like, I never thought he'd be like that. And it's like, you almost want to pull the guy aside and be like, listen, now you're showing them everything that you can't do. Rather than showing them the good things that you can do, you're showing them what you can't do. And so many guys you see that, are top prospects or guys that really had a chance kind of just fade off into the wind because they want to go their way rather than going on a trend that is going to help them be successful. Well, Monte, that wraps it up. Thank you for joining me on Campus Lore Live, where NBA players are experts on college basketball.